Aston Villa waited 30 years for this single moment. On May 20, 2026, in Istanbul, Villa beat Freiburg 3-0 to win the Europa League. But this video isn't really about the match itself. It's about what this win meant to the players, to the fans, and to the media around the world. Today, we're focusing on the reactions. First, let's get the match out of the way quickly. Tielemans opened with a volley in the 41st minute. Emiliano Buendía curled in a stunner in first half stoppage time. And Morgan Rogers tapped in the third on 58 minutes, 3-0. It was effectively over by half-time, a comprehensive Villa win. Right, that's the football. Now for the real story. First up, Captain John McGinn. Speaking to TNT Sports after the game, he said this: "It's the proudest night of my career, being 31, in my first European final. I've seen my mates Grealish and Robertson win European trophies. It's my turn now." And he reflected on the journey the club has been on. 7 years ago this club was close to being in a really bad way. Tonight was everything we've built coming together. The pride I felt at 3-0 with 10 minutes to go, knowing we were about to be European champions, I can't even describe it. 7 years ago, Villa were a second-tier side fighting through the promotion playoffs. Now their captain has lifted a European trophy. And ESPN noted one piece of history. McGinn is the first Scotsman to captain an English side in a major European final since Graham Souness in 1984. The other players were just as moved. Defender Ezri Konsa, in his 7th year at the club, said this: "It's been such a journey, 7 years, plenty of ups and downs. To finally bring some silverware back for this club and the fans is amazing. I can't really describe it, this is for them, they've been through thick and thin." Defender Matty Cash captured the atmosphere. "The fans were amazing, the atmosphere was incredible, now we can party long and hard." Tielemans, who scored the opener, kept it short and sweet. "I feel amazing." And then the young one, Morgan Rogers. According to ESPN, at 23 he became the youngest English player to score in a major UEFA final since Steven Gerrard in 2007. He put his name on a final at 23 years old. The other star of the night was the manager, Unai Emery. This win was his 5th Europa League title. 3 with Sevilla, 1 with Villarreal, and now 1 with Villa. It's the all-time record for the competition. On top of that, he became the first manager ever to win it with 3 different clubs. And yet, before the final, he had played it down. "I am not the king of this competition." Then, right after the win, he said this: "I'm always grateful for Europe, especially the Europa League. We approached this competition in a very serious way this year, so focused. The players showed their desire on the pitch." And he added one final line: "We're not going to stop." Captain McGinn summed up the manager like this: "With this manager in charge, anything's possible." The moment the final whistle blew, the verdicts poured in from the British and European press. Sky Sports ran a headline saying it was time to recognise Unai Emery for what he is, an elite manager. After a 5th Europa League title, the man once underappreciated at Arsenal now belongs among the very best in the business. ESPN placed the win in the club's long history. 44 years after beating Bayern Munich to lift the European Cup, they wrote. And they pointed out a striking stat. Villa's 44-year gap between major European finals is the 3rd biggest of any club, behind only Manchester City and West Ham. ESPN also flagged an interesting pattern. Recent Europa League finals where a team led by 2 goals at halftime have all ended 3-0. In 2012, in 2024, and now Villa in 2026. The pundits and analysts were all pointing in the same direction. Commentators noted that, in the second half, Villa finally looked like the vastly superior side everyone had expected. A game where the gap in individual quality was on full display. Former France international and analyst Frank Leboeuf, speaking on ESPN, focused on Emery's impact. He praised him for completely transforming the club's level of performance. And the 2 goals from Buendía and Tielemans were talking points in their own right. Strikes from distance, the kind of goals that belong in a final. The bigger the stage, the analysts noted, the more these players let their individual quality decide the game. And finally, the most important people of all, the fans. Birmingham was absolutely buzzing. One Villa fan said, "We waited 30 years. My dad saw the last trophy, and now it's my turn. The whole city is in tears." Another brought back an old chant, "In Unai we trust, we were right to believe in him." Even non-Villa fans were united on one thing: Buendia's second goal. Best final goal of the season, no contest. Bending it in from outside the box like that has to be illegal. The reactions flooded in. And the losing side carried themselves with class. Freiburg supporters said, "We lost, but we're not ashamed. It was the first European final in our 121-year history. We'll be back." So to sum up, for the players, the best night of their careers. For the manager, an all-time record. For the media, proof of the elite. And for the fans, 30 years of waiting, finally released in tears. The scoreline read 3-0, but what this night left behind can't be captured by numbers alone. Now Villa turn their eyes to next season's Champions League, because, as Emery said, they're not going to stop.